We got to talk Notre Dame recruiting because names are going to be flying off the board over the next 3 days. Let's start. We're going to preview a couple of these with Mike Singer here from blueandgold.com. Let's start July 4th. Caden Finley, big battle here. We talk about him all the time. We know Notre Dame covets him, but in the end, is he going to really leave the state of Texas?
I think so. I've had my prediction in for the Irish to land him back in February, and I know some Texas reporters have felt like he's leaning towards the Longhorns for a while, and you've seen predictions there, but those have flipped to Notre Dame. So I feel like Notre Dame's going to get him. I think such a big hurdle for Notre Dame to land Caden Finley, the elite prospect from Alito, Texas, is really getting his dad on board with his dad, Michael Finley, former Green Bay Packers tight end, and of course before that played for the Longhorns. I think it was really like getting him on board, like really getting him to like Notre Dame. And Finley visited twice, and I think those are the two times that the dad visited. So if the dad's on board with Notre Dame, not that he would say, no, you're not allowed to go to Notre Dame,
Sure.
but I think that is like a key thing, like getting everyone in the family on board. Because I've said this for months. I think Notre Dame is where Caden Finley wants to be. Mm-hmm. And if all things kind of check out behind the scenes, then I think that's where we'll end up committing. But we'll see on the 4th.
All right. Huge addition on the offensive side of the ball, but might not be the last. Let's talk about July 5th. 1 day later, Devin Fitzgerald, Larry Fitzgerald's son, is going to be making his decision, and I'm feeling the Irish here.
How about like Notre Dame, just their track record of NFL legacies that they're going after, and Jermichael Finley's son, and then could they also land Larry Fitzgerald's son? I mean, potentially a tremendous receiver class for Notre Dame, especially at a position of weakness for the Irish over the years. Like you look to the receiver room, you're like, man, they could really overhaul that unit. So, and they looks like they could do that in the 2026 class. They got 2 committed already. We'll see what Finley does. Fitzgerald, I like Notre Dame there as well. I've got a prediction in for the Irish to land him, and he was really good at the OT7 event this past weekend, Josh, and it seems like his like lower 3-star ranking is going to change here soon. I wouldn't be shocked if rivals ended up bumping him to a 4-star. So Devin Fitzgerald, Notre Dame offered later, but I think that the Irish end up getting that one done. Like Notre Dame offered later, but they didn't start recruiting him late. They've been on him for a while.
All right, July 6th, 1 day later, another wide receiver, Braden Robinson, speedster, out of the state of Texas, another one from the state of Texas. This one seems like it's lining up for the Irish as well. How much room do they have for more elite wide receivers?
Yeah, I could see them going sweeping the weekend and calling it a day with 5 wideouts and talented speedsters as well. Bubba Frazier's been committed to Notre Dame for a few months, and he's one of the fastest players in the state of Georgia. His track times are incredible. So this would be awesome. And Josh, where Braden, is he announcing with anyone in particular? Do you know?
Oh, he will be announcing right here on the Rivals Recruits channel. It's going to be a blast. We've had live commitments left and right. If you guys hit subscribe, you will get notified. So Irish fans, you never know really when they're going to pop up, but if you hit subscribe, you'll get that notification and you can be here for all the action.
Notre Dame, Miami, Arizona, top 3. I think the Irish get that one done. They've been on him for a long time. He was one of their Pot of Gold Day offers from March of 2024. He's visited 3 times this calendar year. I think the relationships that he has with the Notre Dame commits and staff are going to help, get that one done for Notre Dame.
All right. So that sets the table for at least the holiday weekend. But the month of July, we're going to see commitments all throughout the month. Who else are you keeping an eye on?
Yeah. So Notre Dame at 22 commits right now. And it's like, you could see this class by August could be like 90 to 95% full.
I know.
I think July 11th, you have Nick Reddish from Charlotte Independence, a top 2 of Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. He has 2 brothers that play for the Hokies. I think that Notre Dame wins that recruitment. Got a prediction log there. And then I think it's July 26th, Elijah Golden, that's a Notre Dame, Alabama battle with Virginia Tech and Oklahoma in the mix. It's a defensive lineman. He's from Virginia, plays his ball in Sarasota, Florida. I like Notre Dame to edge out Alabama. And this is not just like, the Notre Dame guy saying Notre Dame's going to get everybody. I just think that the 5 kids we've now talked about in this video, I think they get all of them. That would bring them to 27 commitments. And then they possibly could take a 3rd tight end, Evan Jacobson from Waukee, Iowa. I know he's not like overly thrilled that Notre Dame already has 2 tight end commits, but he texted me today, hey, I'm a competitor. I'm not, I wouldn't be scared away by that. But he also likes Iowa State and Texas A&M. And, as you know, Josh, sometimes these coaching staffs and recruiting office, like, do they ever really finish the class in August? One way or another, it's like, oh, this kid decommits, let's go fill the spot, or
Right.
this guy
It's
transfers out.
inevitable.
It's like, hey, we're bored. Let's go get a 3rd linebacker or a 5th defensive lineman, whatever the case may be. So I think this class for Notre Dame will be around like 28, maybe 29 guys. Like sources in South Bend tell me that coming off of that season, Notre Dame wants to just get as many talented players as possible. They're not really worried about, we don't want to take too many guys. Get as many guys as you can right now, because when you're hot, you're hot, and Notre Dame is definitely that on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, they're sitting currently. This is before the flurry of commitments that we just previewed. They're sitting at number 3 in the Rivals industry ranking. So is it me, or is this one of the best Notre Dame classes in recent memory? You're the Notre Dame guy. You tell me.
Yeah, according to the industry ranking, Notre Dame's got the chance to sign their best recruiting class in really the internet era. Wow. I know some folks who would say, this Weiss era team, or actually, well, not Weiss. Go back. Well, that was internet era. Go back to like a Holtz year or something. Like, this. But if you look at the industry ranking, Notre Dame's the score, not like where they ranked 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, their score. The 2013 class was a 92.738. That ranked number 4 nationally. Right now, Notre Dame's is a 92.659. That is 0.1 away. And for what Notre Dame could add, potentially moving forward with guys like Caden Finley and Elijah Golden, and Notre Dame's blue chip ratio right now is very good as well. So you're talking about 80 plus. So when that average number of commits used in the ranking score right now, Josh, it's 15. When that goes to 18 or 19 or 20, I only think that's going to help Notre Dame because they have such a deep class. Whereas in years past, Notre Dame drops because they have a blue chip ratio between like 55 and 60%. So this is actually going to help Notre Dame. I think they're looking at their first top 5 class since that 2013 year. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Like, this is a very talented and deep class, like Marcus Freeman and company, they're cooking.
And if they keep playing the way that they are on the football field, there's going to inevitably be some flips down the road. I mean, Notre Dame's going to be the one doing the flipping. And they could potentially even add more firepower to this class. So it's going to be an explosive weekend, not just because it's July 4th, but because I think the Irish are going to land a few commitments. Mike Singer, blueandgold.com. Thanks for dropping by the Inside Scoop.
Anytime, Josh.